For over a decade, My Three Sons warmed hearts across America with its wholesome portrayal of family life, led by Fred MacMurray as the devoted single father raising 3 boys. The show became a beloved classic, remembered for its charm, life lessons, and iconic cast. But behind the laughter and lighthearted moments, time has taken its toll. Over the years, several of the show's beloved actors have sadly passed away, some unexpectedly, others after private battles. In this heartfelt look back, we honor the lives and legacies of those cast members who are no longer with us, and reflect on the lasting impact they left behind. Fred MacMurray was born on August 30, 1908, and was 52 when he began his iconic role as Steve Douglas in My Three Sons in 1960. Known for his calm, fatherly presence, MacMurray's character became a television icon. However, in real life, his image as a perfect father figure couldn't have been farther from the truth. MacMurray was notoriously private, but beneath the surface, his personal life was filled with contradictions. His marriage to actress Joan Vohs was troubled, with rumors of infidelity and an emotionally distant partnership. He became infamous for his coldness towards his children, often leaving them behind during family vacations. His strict, often frugal nature created tensions off-screen, and he was rumored to be extremely controlling with his co-stars. MacMurray's later years were marred by a career decline, as his reputation as a family man came under scrutiny, yet he remained a staple of TV until his death. He passed away from pneumonia on November 5, 1991, at 83. Meredith MacRae, born on May 30, 1944, joined My Three Sons in 1963 at just 19 years old, portraying the sweet and naive Sally Ann Morrison, the love interest of Mike Douglas. With her natural beauty, MacRae was a fan favorite, and her career seemed poised for stardom. However, her personal life and career took a sharp downturn. Known not just for her acting but also for her singing and television hosting skills, MacRae's professional life was overshadowed by a string of personal tragedies and controversies. Her most famous relationship was with actor Greg Mullivet, whom she married in the 1970s. The marriage ended in a public and messy divorce, which caused a rift in MacRae's career. Though she continued to work as a talk show host and actress, her reputation became tarnished by a series of alleged affairs with high-profile celebrities. MacRae's mental health also deteriorated in the following decades, and she found herself embroiled in a battle with depression. As if to add salt to the wounds, she was diagnosed with brain cancer in 1999. Meredith passed away on July 14, 2000, at the age of 56. Don Grady was born on June 8, 1944, and was just 16 when he portrayed Robbie Douglas in My Three Sons in 1960. As the charming, musical middle son, Don became a favorite among fans, but his off-screen life was far from as harmonious. After the show ended, Grady struggled to find consistent work, with many considering him a child star unable to escape his initial role. Despite attempts to transition into music and acting, his career faced frequent setbacks, including accusations of unprofessional behavior on set and issues with typecasting. Behind closed doors, Grady's personal life was full of turmoil. His first marriage ended in scandal, with allegations of an affair that caused a media frenzy. Grady's struggles with alcoholism further strained his relationships, and while he eventually found some peace in his later years, his early career choices and personal demons never truly left him. Don Grady died from cancer on June 27, 2012, at the age of 68. Beverly Garland was born on October 17, 1926, and at the age of 43, she stepped into the role of Barbara Harper Douglas on My Three Sons in 1969, bringing a sense of maternal warmth and elegance to the character of Steve's second wife. Known for portraying independent and often tough women, Garland's portrayal resonated with viewers. However, behind the screen, her personal life was marked by turbulent relationships and a series of personal struggles. Garland's career, though long and respectable, was not without its setbacks. Despite her ability to embody strong, self-sufficient women on screen, her off-screen life seemed more like a constant struggle for stability. She dealt with a rocky marriage, multiple divorces, and was often in the spotlight for her high-profile breakups. As the years went by, her career faltered. Scandals related to her alleged difficult temperament with directors and co-stars started to surface. In the later years of her career, Garland struggled with declining health but continued to make appearances. She passed away on December 5, 2008, at the age of 82 from natural causes. William Demarest, born February 27, 1892, was 73 when he began portraying Uncle Charlie on My Three Sons in 1965. His character, a gruff but loving figure, was beloved by fans, but Demarest's personal life was far more complicated. Before his role in the show, Demarest had been a vaudeville performer and appeared in numerous films, but his career was tainted by bitter feuds with fellow actors and reports of a volatile temper. On set, Demarest was often difficult to work with, known for his harsh criticism of younger actors and his unpredictable outbursts. His heavy drinking was well known, and some colleagues speculated that it contributed to the rift with his family. His personal losses, including the death of his wife, left him in a perpetual state of melancholy. Demarest passed away on December 28, 1983, at 91, after battling pneumonia and prostate cancer. William Frawley was born on February 26, 1887, and was 73 when he joined My Three Sons in 1960, playing Bub O'Casey. Frawley's persona on screen was that of a gruff yet lovable figure, but his real life was marred by scandal and controversy. Before My Three Sons, Frawley was a staple of television, especially known for his role as Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy. However, behind his jovial exterior, Frawley struggled with alcoholism and anger issues. His erratic behavior on set was infamous, and it was widely known that he had a volatile temper, which led to multiple on-set firings. His personal life was just as turbulent. Frawley never married, and his relationships with women were often chaotic and short-lived. His later years were marked by financial difficulties and his struggle with heavy drinking. On March 3, 1966, Frawley passed away at 79 from a heart attack, just as his career was on the decline, and his personal battles left an indelible mark on those who worked with him. Tim Considine, born December 31, 1940, was 20 when he began portraying Mike Douglas, the responsible eldest son, on My Three Sons in 1960. Tim's career after the show was marked by a pursuit of varied interests, including writing and photography, but it was also littered with personal missteps. Known for his intelligence and creativity, Considine's departure from My Three Sons was shrouded in mystery. Sources close to the set reported that he was often at odds with the show's producers, leading to his abrupt exit in the early years of the show. Off-camera, Tim struggled with substance abuse, which many claimed had impacted his professional life. His relationships were fraught with scandal, including a tumultuous marriage that ended in a bitter divorce. In his later years, he was rumored to have cut ties with much of the entertainment industry, choosing to live in isolation. Tim Considine died on March 3, 2022, at the age of 81, but by that time, much of his earlier life had faded into obscurity. John Gallaudet, born on August 23, 1903, appeared on My Three Sons starting in 1960 at 57 as Bob Anderson, a recurring character. His deep voice and strong presence earned him many roles in both television and film, especially in the noir and crime genres. However, Gallaudet's career, though steady, wasn't without controversy. Despite his well-respected acting ability, whispers about his difficult personality circulated in Hollywood. Known for his erratic behavior on set, he was rumored to have frequent clashes with directors and co-stars, often challenging authority and refusing to conform to the demands of his roles. This rebellious nature eventually led to a decline in his career, and by the time he joined My Three Sons, Gallaudet was largely relegated to supporting roles. In his personal life, Gallaudet faced serious struggles. He had a series of marriages that ended in bitter divorces, with accusations of infidelity and emotional abuse. He passed away on November 5, 1983, at the age of 80, after a quiet battle with health issues. Joan Vohs was born on July 30, 1927, and was 37 years old when she took on the role of Jan Deering in My Three Sons in 1964. Her character, a charming and elegant figure, brought an air of sophistication to the show. However, behind Joan's poised appearance, she faced the harsh reality of being pigeonholed as the dumb blonde, a stereotype that haunted her career. The actress, who had once been a promising starlet in the 1950s, found herself struggling to break free from this image. In her personal life, Joan was a devoted mother, but her family life wasn't without its challenges. Her relationships were marked by periods of turbulence, and she lived through the personal tragedy of a failed marriage. It's said that her inability to escape typecasting contributed to bouts of depression. What really shocked the public were whispers of Joan's volatile nature on set. Stories circulated about her clashes with co-stars, and rumors swirled of her penchant for drama off-camera. She remained an enigmatic figure, often described as a deeply private person. Joan passed away from heart failure on June 4, 2001, at 73. Olive Dunbar, born on March 30, 1925, joined My Three Sons in 1961 at the age of 36, playing Ruth Pfeiffer, a character who was often seen as the maternal figure in the show. Dunbar's career was marked by a long string of television roles, but her life was far from the polished persona she portrayed on screen. In reality, Dunbar struggled with mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, which she kept hidden for most of her career. Her personal life was a series of tragic events, including a failed marriage that was plagued with accusations of infidelity and financial struggles. Dunbar was known to have an explosive temper and would often lash out at those around her. Behind her strong on-screen characters, she had a reputation for being difficult to work with reports of her sabotaging co-stars' careers and manipulating the crew. While Dunbar's career continued into her later years, the damage done to her personal life took a toll on her well-being. She passed away on February 8, 2017, at the age of 91, a life full of highs and lows, struggles and triumphs. Joan Tompkins was born on July 9, 1915, and was 52 when she portrayed Lorraine Miller on My Three Sons in 1967. Lorraine brought warmth and wisdom to the series, but Joan's personal life was far from the tranquil image she portrayed on screen. A veteran of radio, television, and stage, Joan's career was one of ups and downs. Despite her reputation for playing strong maternal figures, she struggled with the internal chaos of her personal relationships. Her marriages were marked by tension, with rumors of infidelity and emotional distress. After her acting career began to decline, Joan retreated into a quieter life, becoming a writer and critic. But even in this phase, she couldn't escape the shadow of scandal. There were unsubstantiated reports of Joan's sharp temper and bitter feuds with colleagues from her earlier acting days. The darker side of Joan's personality, particularly her frustration with being overlooked in Hollywood, made her a somewhat isolated figure in her later years. She passed away on January 29, 2005, at the age of 89. Mike Minor, born on December 7, 1940, was just 22 when he played Duke on My Three Sons in 1962. The youthful energy he brought to the role was a sharp contrast to the turbulent personal life that would later define him. Mike was best known for his portrayal of Steve Elliott on Petticoat Junction, but his career never fully reached the heights many expected. His reputation was tainted by a series of personal missteps. His involvement in the entertainment industry was marked by a series of disappointments and brief roles, often overshadowed by his reputation as a difficult actor to work with. he was known for his volatile temper and his refusal to play the Hollywood game, which led to his career stalling in the late 1960s. In his personal life, Mike's relationships were chaotic. He was linked to several high-profile affairs and had a rocky marriage that ended in an acrimonious divorce. His struggles with substance abuse were well documented, with reports of wild partying and heavy drinking leading to multiple stints in rehab. He passed away on January 28, 2016, at 75. Eleanor Audley was born on November 19, 1905, and joined My Three Sons in 1969 at the age of 64, portraying Mrs. Vincent with a powerful presence. Known for her voice work as Disney villains like Maleficent and Lady Tremaine, Eleanor's career flourished, but her life was marred by a personal darkness that few knew. While she commanded the screen with her authoritative voice, Eleanor's off-screen life was fraught with hidden struggles. She never remarried after her divorce, choosing instead to focus on her career, but rumors of strained relationships with family members were widespread. Eleanor's work ethic was legendary, but her demands on those around her, including fellow actors, were often described as ruthless. In her later years, her health deteriorated rapidly, and she became known for her cold demeanor. Despite this, Eleanor continued to work in radio and television until her death from respiratory failure on November 25, 1991, at 86. Her enigmatic persona left many wondering whether the characters she voiced were, in fact, a reflection of her own complicated personality. Doris Singleton, born on September 29, 1919, was 45 years old when she played Margaret Williams on My Three Sons in 1964. Known for her role as Carolyn Appleby on I Love Lucy, Doris was a seasoned actress with a career spanning radio, television, and film. However, behind her poised image, Doris faced a series of personal setbacks that often went unspoken in the public eye. Her marriage, a seemingly stable one, was rife with behind-the-scenes tension. Doris was rumored to have suffered from deep loneliness, a feeling exacerbated by the pressures of being constantly in the public eye. In the industry, she was known for being fiercely independent, which, at times, led to clashes with both directors and co-stars. Despite her success, Doris's personal life remained a mystery to many, and rumors of financial troubles began circulating after her retirement. She also struggled with bouts of depression, particularly after the passing of close family members. Doris passed away on June 26, 2012, at the age of 92, having lived a long life marked by quiet suffering. Norman Alden was born on September 13, 1924, and was 46 when he joined My Three Sons in 1970 as Tom Williams. Alden's career was punctuated by memorable roles in films like Back to the Future, but his personal life was fraught with scandal. Known for his charming on-screen persona, Alden struggled with a series of personal battles, including a tumultuous marriage that ended in a scandalous divorce involving accusations of infidelity and financial manipulation. His addiction to gambling was well known, and many in Hollywood quietly distanced themselves from him as he sunk further into debt. Alden's gambling habits were so severe that he was once forced to sell off personal belongings just to keep afloat. In his later years, Alden was known to be reclusive, with few public appearances and a general air of bitterness. His death on July 27, 2012 at age 87 marked the quiet end of a career overshadowed by his personal demons, and many who had known him spoke of the man who never truly found peace with his fame or his mistakes. Natalie Masters was born on November 23, 1915, and played Mrs. Bergen on My Three Sons in 1961 at the age of 46. Known for her quirkiness, both on-screen and off, Natalie was a beloved figure in the entertainment world, but her life was far from idyllic. Early in her career, she was married to a well-known figure in Hollywood, but their relationship was plagued by infidelity and public scandals. Natalie's personal life was often in turmoil, and her marriage ended in a bitter and highly publicized divorce that dominated the gossip columns of the time. Off-screen, Natalie was known for her eccentricities. Stories of her eccentric behavior on set and her frequent outbursts became infamous. These incidents often made her difficult to work with, and though she was talented, her reputation as a diva tarnished her career. In her later years, Natalie battled health problems and financial instability. She passed away on February 9, 1986, at 70, a tragic end to a life filled with personal and professional upheaval. Sarah Selby was born on August 30, 1905, and joined My Three Sons in 1963, aged 58, where she portrayed the role of the admissions clerk, exuding a calm, matronly presence. Known for her work in radio, TV, and film, Selby often played minor roles but with lasting impact, yet her life off-screen was far from as composed. Behind her professional demeanor, Selby struggled with personal demons, including a turbulent marriage marked by public disputes and infidelity. Although she was known for her unassuming image, her later years revealed darker struggles with alcohol abuse, which led to a significant decline in her career. Many in Hollywood distanced themselves from her as her reputation for being difficult to work with became well known. Her final years were filled with health issues, including cancer, which led to her death at the age of 74 on January 7, 1980, but it was the secrecy around her battles with addiction and broken relationships that overshadowed her long career. Naomi Stevens was born on November 29, 1925, and brought her comedic touch to My Three Sons in 1969, portraying the iconic Mama Rossini. While Stevens' public image remained cheerful and upbeat, her personal life painted a different picture. Known for her roles in The Apartment and Valley of the Dolls, Naomi's career trajectory was often thwarted by the typecasting she faced, leaving her frustrated and isolated in the industry. Her personal life mirrored this sense of confinement. Married multiple times, she was involved in several high-profile, tumultuous relationships that fueled rumors and scandals. Naomi's reputation was marred by accusations of erratic behavior on set, which led to a brief period where she was blacklisted from major productions. In her later years, Stevens dealt with serious financial troubles and was known to have been involved in a series of public arguments with her family, especially her children, who distanced themselves due to her manipulative behavior and addiction struggles. Naomi passed away on January 13, 2018 at the age of 92. Betty Lynn was born on August 29, 1926, and portrayed Janet Dawson on My Three Sons in 1967, a role that showcased her gentle and sweet disposition. Yet, behind Betty's wholesome persona was a history of professional setbacks and personal heartbreaks that many were unaware of. Her early career on The Andy Griffith Show was a high point, but her path wasn't without strife. Her marriage to a controlling and abusive man led to a highly publicized and messy divorce, a period that sent her into a downward spiral. As her acting career dwindled, Betty struggled with loneliness and financial troubles, living in near obscurity for years. Her comeback efforts were met with resistance from Hollywood, where the stigma of her divorce and her difficulty in navigating the pressures of fame tainted her once beloved image. Although she found a measure of peace in her later years, Betty's life was overshadowed by the ghosts of past scandals, and it was only after her death on October 16, 2021, aged 95, that some of these stories began to surface, painting a picture of a woman who had long fought to reclaim her dignity. Sid Clute, born on April 21, 1916, joined My Three Sons in 1962 at age 46 as Bert Henderson. Clute's career as a character actor was established with numerous roles portraying authoritative figures, but the real story of his life lay in the darker corners of his personal struggles. Sidney's marriage was marked by bitterness and secrecy, and he was known for being emotionally distant from his children. His battles with alcoholism and gambling became an open secret within Hollywood, and his behavior was often described as aggressive and self-destructive. Several co-stars came forward later in life to recount instances where Clute's temper would flare uncontrollably, creating a toxic atmosphere on set. His personal life, marked by failed relationships and a string of short-lived affairs, took a toll on his career, with Hollywood blacklisting him at various points due to his reputation. Clute's final years saw him battling ill health and financial ruin, which ultimately led to his death on October 2, 1985 at age 69, a tragic end to a life filled with unresolved conflict and personal ruin. Benson Fong was born on October 10, 1916, and joined My Three Sons in 1963, playing Ray Wong at the age of 47. Fong, who had a strong presence on screen, was often cast in roles that reflected his ethnic background, but his career and personal life were riddled with complexities. While he achieved early success in films like Flower Drum Song and the Charlie Chan series, Fong's personal life saw turbulent periods of mental instability and substance abuse. He became notorious for his volatile temper on set, where stories of him clashing with directors and co-stars were common. At one point, he was even replaced in major roles due to his erratic behavior. His business ventures, including several restaurants, also faced financial ruin, contributing to his reputation as a man who struggled to find personal and professional stability. Although he enjoyed a degree of fame, his later years were marred by personal scandals, including public fights with family members over finances. Benson Fong died on August 1, 1987 at the age of 70 from a stroke. Pitt Herbert, born on September 25, 1914, played the clerk in My Three Sons in 1961 at 46 years old, often cast in minor but memorable roles. His career, while steady, was overshadowed by a secret battle with gambling addiction that spiraled out of control during his later years. Pitt's involvement in high-stakes poker games and his mounting debts led him to be ostracized by his peers. His personal life was filled with turmoil, marked by a disastrous marriage to a fellow actor that ended in a bitter and public divorce. He was known for being an incredibly difficult co-star, often showing up late to sets or acting erratically, which led to him being dropped from several major projects. His health declined rapidly in his later years, and his personal issues left him in a constant state of crisis. Pitt Herbert passed away on June 23, 1989, at the age of 74. John Alvin, born on October 24, 1917, joined My Three Sons in 1963 at 46, playing Al, a supporting role that showcased his skills as a character actor. John's career, while solid, was often overshadowed by his personal demons. Known for his deep voice and rugged presence, Alvin had a knack for playing hard-edged characters, yet his own life was full of contradictions. His struggle with alcoholism severely impacted his career, leading to him being blacklisted for several years. Married 4 times, his relationships were marred by accusations of cheating, verbal abuse, and temper tantrums, all of which contributed to his downfall in the industry. Alvin's career was in a steady decline by the 70s, but his struggles with addiction and family turmoil only worsened in his later years. His death on February 27, 2009, at the age of 91, was quiet and largely overlooked by the media, a sad ending to a career that had once shown so much promise. Who is your favorite character in My Three Sons? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.